Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss a beautiful poem from the book Flamingo of class 12th. And the title of the poem is Aunt Jennifer's Tiger by Adrienne Rich. You must have heard about this poem. So today, before going on with the discussion, I would like to read the poem. Simply just read the poem in front of you, and if you have your book with you, please open to the page and let's read it together. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. All right. So the poem begins like, Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across the screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the man beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. If you have noticed, there are, dozens of poetic devices that has been used in this poem. Beautifully written. Okay, moving on to the second part. Okay. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. Okay, so sorry. I think I've skipped the second part. Okay. All right. Aunt Jennifer's fingers, fluttering through her wool, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. If you notice any poetic devices, please just keep that in your mind, and we will come to that later. Okay, the last part is here. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. All right. So by simply reading the poem, you must have got an idea about the theme of the poem, right? Okay, before moving to the theme, let's read something about the poet, Adrienne Rich. So Adrienne Rich is an American poet, essayist, and feminist as well, a second-wave feminist, one of America's foremost public intellectuals. So she has written on various, issues like identity, feminism, politics, social injustice, pacifism, sexuality. And this poem itself, Aunt Jennifer's Tiger, to some extent, not to some extent, it focuses on feminism. Okay. Now, moving on to the theme of the poem. So what this poem is about, what this poem focuses on, that is the theme of the poem. So the theme of the poem is, this poem is written in 1951. So the time frame you should also know so that you can relate to the poem, easily. So this poem addresses the constraints of married life a woman experiences, the suppression, the constraint that she faces. All right. So here, Aunt Jennifer, in itself, the name Aunt Jennifer doesn't signify anything. Jennifer as a name has nothing to do with it. But here, the Aunt Jennifer is a universal symbol of an oppressed wife who wants to escape from the traditional institution of marriage. So the traditional institution of marriage means, traditionally in a marriage, especially in a patriarchal society, women are usually oppressed. They do not have much say in the family. They do not have much right to decide anything in the family. So here, this is what Aunt Jennifer represents, an oppressed wife who wants to escape from the traditional institute of marriage and the patriarchal rules of society. Patriarchal rules where men are the boss of a family, right? Okay, so the man rules the family or the society, right? Everything goes according to the man's need, man's desire, or something like that. So in a patriarchal rules of society. The poem also depicts, other than that, other than women's right, other than feminism, other than the oppressed situation or condition of women during those time or in those society, other than that, the poem also depicts the freedom of expression through art, as well as the permanence, immortality of art over the transience of human life. So human life is not permanent, right? We come and we pass away. But, you know, the power of art is something that lives forever. So here also, in the poem, okay, when we will discuss, you will come to know that the freedom of expression through art as a powerful tool, right? Okay. So, okay, now we won't discuss much here on this page. Now, moving on to the lexical items. There are certain words that are not so common. So, maybe we should just go and discuss those words. Some words that I've chosen. Okay, prance. There's a word called prance. So, what does prance mean? Prance means to spring from the hind legs to or move by doing so. Like in the picture, the horse is standing on its hind leg, right? Prancing. So prancing, in a way, it's like to walk in an energetic way and with more movement than necessary. If you just want to move, you don't need much of movement. But when you prance, it shows that you are excited, you are confident, and you are lively, prancing, moving more than what is required, movement that is necessary, more than that. So prance is here. The tiger is excited, very free, brave, confident, so it's prancing like. Prance is usually used in context to human, but here it has used with the tiger. Okay. Let's see. And then denizen. Denizen means a person or an animal or plant that lives or is found in a particular place. So it's just like a citizen. Citizen is a person who lives in that particular country or area. Same way here it refers to person, animal, or the plant that lives in that area or the environment, a particular place. Right? Denizen is that. So slick. Another word, slick. Sun Slick, you must have heard it. It's a brand of shampoo, right? So slick, it refers to, something that is, it can, refer to clothes or hair or shapes which are smooth, shiny, and lying close to the body, right? Without any disturbances, no odds at all, right? Very smooth and shiny. So close to the body and therefore looking well cared for, not untidy, with no parts sticking out, right? Can you see any hair sticking out? No, it's very smooth and shiny, right? Slick is that. But here in the poem, slick means just like the quality of that hair or the cloth that is smooth and shiny, in human quality, it is being able to or designed to move efficiently and smoothly. Just like the hair that I've shown you here in the picture. Someone that can, move efficiently and smoothly. That is called slick here. Okay. All right. And another word we find here in this poem is topaz. Topaz is this, gemstone, a very precious gemstone, a transparent yellow stone used in jewelry, usually used in jewelry, right? Okay, this is called the topaz. And chivalric, you will find this word as well, chivalric, relating to or connected with the system of chivalry. So, that was believed in and followed by medieval knights. Chivalry is defined as the quality held by knights. Medieval knights, the warriors, and the gentlemen offering courage, honor, and protection to women. So, chivalry is the quality possessed by a gentleman, you can say, who respect, honor, and offer protection to women, right? And these are very interesting pictures here. Okay, you must have seen this kind of gestures being shown in the movies, right? Chivalry. This is also a chivalry, this manner, like just pulling the chair for a woman. And here another picture, let's say chivalry. See, this man is just pulling the door, right? Opening the door for this lady. So this manner is also included in chivalry. And the third one is very interesting, I'll show you. Okay, the poor man, see. There's a lady standing just in front of him, and then he's carrying all the luggages, 3, 4, 5. That's a little bit too much, right? Okay, anyway, now, jokes apart, he's carrying too much, but still, from his side, this manner of, not letting that gentle lady carry all this weight is chivalric behavior, right? Okay. Anyway, chivalry is that, and now another word that is in the poem is fluttering. Fluttering means moving with light, irregular, or trembling motion, like when you are nervous, when you are scared, and your finger movements is something like this, like fluttering out of fear. Okay, that is the movement. And the ivory, you know that, right? That is the hard, creamy white substance composing the main part of the elephant tusk. You must have seen elephant tusk, right? So it is made out of, these are made out of that tusk, the creamy white substance. Okay? All right, so the ivory is often used to make ornaments and other articles. Here the ivory is also used in the poem. Okay. For embroidery she's using it, right? Okay. All right. So massive means very large and heavy. Massive means very large and heavy. Okay, wedding band means the wedding ring, just like this. No, not much simpler than that, right? Okay. It's the simple ring that is given during the wedding ceremony. It's very simple. Okay, let's not take too much time. Panel. So panel is usually a very flat, rectangular piece of wood, metal, cloth, anything that fits onto a wall or something larger. It is usually a wall, that is where we put it on, the panel, right? So just like in the picture, the panel here is put on a wall, and there's a tiger, picture of a tiger on the panel, right? Okay, so here, all right. So Aunt Jennifer. So this poem, Aunt Jennifer's tiger, let's not go to these words now. Okay, okay, 2 more words we have. Ringed. This word is used here. Now here, this is a pun. In a poetic devices, there's something called pun, where we play with the words. Here the ring refers to the ring that we wear on our finger, and in other way it also refers to being encircled by, just like the ring encircles your finger. Aunt Jennifer has been encircled by her ordeals. Ordeals means her very bad experience that she had during her life, right? So this ringed word refers to 2 different things here, right? Okay, so the poet is trying to play with this word. All right. Ordeal, same thing. Ordeal is a very unpleasant and prolonged experience. Okay. All right. Now, beginning with the poem again. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across the screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. So Aunt Jennifer in this poem has embroidered, knitted an image of a tiger on the screen, and how does this tiger looks like? The poet has in the second line described the physical appearance of the tiger, Okay. Bright topaz denizens. Bright means the bright color of this, precious gem. Topaz is the gemstone. Bright topaz is the physical appearance of the tiger. The denizens of a world of green. Denizens means a citizen. Somebody who lives in that particular place. Denizens of a world of green. World of green refers to forest. Okay. Here also, the poet has used a poetic device, world of green, right? Okay, we will come to that again. They do not fear the man beneath the tree. They do not fear the man beneath the tree. Man beneath the tree refers to the hunters who kill the tigers and the wildlife, right? Okay. They pace in slick chivalric certainty. So here they, the same word has been repeated in consecutive lines, right? So this is also a poetic device. Okay. All right. So anaphora, that is called anaphora, right? The same word has been used again in 2 lines, right? Continuous lines is anaphora. Okay. All right. So anaphora, what is an anaphora? Is a rhetorical device where a word is repeated at the beginning and the successive clauses sentence. Here it is just a word. So it could be repeated in successive clauses, sentences, or lines to create an emphasis and, rhyme. All right. So topaz here the topaz, okay, sorry. Okay, topaz is a metaphor for tiger now. Topaz is actually a gemstone, but here it is referring to the tiger. So they've used a metaphor to compare between topaz and tiger. All right. All right. So world of green. The poet could have just simply said forest, but instead of that, he has used this world of green to refer to the forest, right? So here, this poetic device is called metonymy. Metonymy, we pick up a related word from word of that place or anything and use it here. So green forests are green, so they've used the word green to refer to the forest. Okay, world of green. And they do not fear the man beneath the tree means they do not fear the what? Fear the hunters. They are very confident, they are fearless. This refers to, right? They pace means they move in slick chivalric certainty. Chivalry is the quality possessed by the knights, who honor so much brave, fearless. Chivalric certainty means confidence. Out of confidence they are walking with very elegant movement, the tigers. So here it is all described the tiger that she has embroidered on the screen, right? His very physical appearance is bright and fearless and movement that is so confident and brave. Okay, that's the first part. And the second part here now the poet has shifted the focus on Aunt Jennifer's situation here. So what is Aunt Jennifer's doing? Aunt Jennifer's, though she's embroidering a very bold animal, furious, right, animal, but her situation is, in contrast to that, see, Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool while she is embroidering that. Her fingers are fluttering. Why is her finger fluttering? It's all out of fear, that she fears her husband, right? Since she's dominated by her husband, she fears that, right? So her fingers are fluttering. Find even the ivory needle. Ivory needle is the needle that I've shown you, right? It's very light needle, but still she is finding it very difficult to pull it. That is all out of fear. She has no strength. This line shows she has no strength. She's weak. And the massive weight of uncle's wedding band. So the massive means a very large weight, but how could a ring weigh? It cannot be that massive, but here they have used this word massive. So this is a hyperbole where you exaggerate things, right? Okay, massive weight of uncle's wedding band is the ring. And that wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. Here sits means a wedding band cannot sit, right? Wedding band is not a human. But here the poet has used this word sits, means the poetic device that has been used here is personification, right? Where the poet is considering this wedding band as a person who sits on Aunt Jennifer's hand. Okay? So here Aunt Jennifer is fluttering through her wool, find even ivory needle hard to pull, massive weight of uncle's wedding band. So थोड़ा सा मैं हिंदी में बता दूं तो अंकल का जो वेडिंग बैंड का जो वेट है ना, वो पूरा उसके फिंगर्स पर मतलब वजन डाल रहे हैं. Means she is pressurized. She has so much expectation from her husband, from family, from the society, that she feels this wedding, simple wedding thing, very heavy, right? Not heavy physically, but you know, the pressures that she has, you know, the expectations that she has to carry. All right. Now the third is, when aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie. When aunt is dead, जब aunt मर जाएंगी, her terrified hands, even after death, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals. The same ring will encircle her finger with ordeals that she was mastered by. So here the poet has used this word. Ringed refers to the ring that is on her finger, and same way ringed also means encircled. Encircled, right? Okay, now this is not working, it's okay. Encircled by the ordeals means the difficult times that she experienced during her lifetime that will still remain with her even in her, you know, during her death. But in contrast to that situation, after death, the tigers that she have embroidered on the screen in the panel that she made, the tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing proud and unafraid. Even though she is dead and she can't do much, her art that she has embroidered will go on forever, right? It will pass on a very, you know, very, very strong message to the coming generation or to anyone who goes through this poem. Okay, so here Aunt Jennifer herself is very weak and powerless. In a society where man rules, she has no power, but her inner desire is completely opposite to her situation. She desires to be courageous, she desires to be free, right? Just like the tiger in the panel. So that is the main message in the poem where the poet has tried to convey the inner desire of a woman, right? So the literary devices, coming to the last point, literary devices used in this poem are anaphora, just like I've mentioned earlier. They do not fear their pace. The same word has been repeated again. This is called anaphora. And metaphor, the bright topaz gemstone has been compared to the tiger. So metaphor is the poetic device where we compare two things without using comparing words like and as. Okay. So alliteration, yes, this is a very important poetic device. So okay, I need to tell you, what are poetic devices? Poetic devices are just like in any profession. For example, a shoemaker, to make a shoe very beautiful, he has so many tools to make it beautiful. Same thing for a poet, somebody who writes a poem. We have poetic devices that beautifies, that decorates the poem, that makes the poem sounds more interesting, more beautiful, right? Okay, so we have different techniques to make our poems beautiful. Here, chivalric certainty, CC, same letter, you know, between two consecutive lines, is called alliteration. Same here, fingers fluttering, FF sound in the beginning, fingers fluttering, that makes the poem sound beautiful. Same thing here, prancing proud, letter P has been repeated again, prancing proud, fingers fluttering, chivalric certainty. It sounds beautiful, isn't it? Okay, all right, that is called alliteration. And now coming on to the last point, okay, the rhyming words and rhyme scheme. So how we find rhyme scheme, that is very important. Okay, you should always look at the last word of a line. For example, in the first stanza, last word is screen, green, tree, certainty. 3T, right? So it rhymes. These two words rhymes and these two words rhyme. So when they rhyme, you should name it with the same letter, AA, and here BB. Same thing in the second stanza as well. Wool, pull, band, hand. It rhymes, these two rhymes and these two rhymes, A, B, B. And the third stanza also, lie, buy, made, unafraid, frayed, made, frayed. So the rhyme scheme is AA and BB. Okay. All right. So that's it, I guess. All right. There are a few more poetic devices that I have written here, which is not on the screen. I will discuss it with you very quickly. Okay. If you have a notebook with you, please note it down. Finger flutter, we have discussed it. Aunt Jennifer. Okay. So symbolism is something that has been used in this poem. So here, Aunt Jennifer, it is also a symbol of an oppressed woman. Okay, symbolism. And the tiger here in the poem also symbolizes power, bravery, freedom, all this. All right. And the paradox that we can see in the poem is Aunt Jennifer is weak and powerless. Her fingers are fluttering out of fear, but the art that she has created is cruel, powerful animal that is a tiger. So the contrast between these two, situation of Aunt Jennifer and the embroidery that she has prepared, are completely opposite. So that is called paradox. Okay. So personifications, the tiger prance, having extra movement that is more than necessary. The tiger prancing. So prance is usually used in context to human, but here it has used with the tigers. And chivalric certainty. Chivalry is also a quality of human beings, right? But here it has been used with the tiger. And the wedding band sits heavily. So wedding band is a non-living thing. It can't sit. Usually we use this verb sit with human. So sits heavily. Here also the ring has been personified by the poet. Okay? All right. Transferred epithet. Epithet is a very important thing. Here in this line, okay, from Aunt Jennifer's to her hands. Her terrified hands, yes. Hand cannot be terrified. Humans can be terrified, but here the terrified, the adjective has been used with the word hand. So the actual adjective, that should be used is with a human being, but here it has used with the hand. So this adjective has been transferred to this word hand. All right. So same thing. You can also call it scenic dog and transferred epithet. These are two same things where we transferred the actual adjective from the word that deserves it. All right. Pun, we have discussed it. Pun is a word play. The ringed is the word that has been used as a pun. All right, so that's it. I hope you have understood this poem well. So here I would like to conclude my class today. And before that, I would like to give you I should have given my introduction in the beginning, but my name is Rinzin Kelsang and I'm currently working as a contractual lecturer in English at Government Higher Secondary School, Zanskar. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the class.